Okay, I am live. I just finished a real quick live stream because I had something to do afterwards. I need to take care of something, but I saw some questions that I didn't really have time to answer in that live stream. So if you all will come back in the credit and cash flow room, if you're new to my channel, this is Queen of Credit, and this is the 5 minutes of fame clock down countdown clock, right? 5 minutes of fame. Drop your city and state. Drop your city and state, or just come in and say hello, right? So 5 minutes of fame. And if you was just on the previous live stream and you had some questions about getting faster credit results, come on back in the room. I may can answer those questions for you. If not, it's Friday, so I will go to my regular or list of things rather I need to do. Hello, Antonio is in the credit and cash flow room. How are you doing, Antonio? Hello, Gigi from Heath, Texas. Mariah J, hello, how are you? We got Texas in, so this is the 5 minutes of fame. And I'm going to make this live stream affirmation, right? I am attracting people who are creative versus critical, who value credit and cash flow, who are hustle, right? Who hustle and not hate, and focus on prosperity versus poverty. So, hello, Cheryl Lockwood. Good evening. Gwen Armstrong says she's back. Gwen, did you have any questions in the previous live stream? There were some people that had questions, but I had something to do. So that was just a quick drop. And I wasn't really answering questions on that live stream. So if you all have those questions, just come on back in and say hello. I just wanted to make a quick live stream of how people can have those online platforms and some changes in the credit consulting process in which they can get faster, updated results, right? A lot of people are saying, I'm not receiving anything in the mail. Oftentimes they don't know. It will look like a large white envelope, something about this size. I have it upside down in the mail from Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian. And I don't know how they missed it, right? But the credit agencies are very good of responding within that 6-week time period. But as of anything that's going on right now, the health pandemic have a lot of delays and slowdown. TransUnion is one. They're saying their call center is down because of employee shortage in the Philippines. And so their delay process, and during this time, right, those delays are acceptable. And so in order to get quicker, more expedited results, have an account with Credit Karma. Hello, Sonia. They update every 7 days, and Experian, all are free, right? Hello from New Haven, Kentucky, I think. Yes, Ronald Anderson. Thank you, Gigi. Yes, they would send an envelope. And let me tell you, I have never in a situation seen where people are not getting those envelopes, right? But people say that because they visit or listen to other YouTube channels, I think, and other YouTube channels inform them that sometimes when you don't get a 30-day or the credit agencies do not respond in 30 days, that you have a right to re-dispute on that ruling under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and those negative accounts must be removed. But even in the redisputing process, they still have to up to 30 days to do that. So it's best to have your online monitoring systems in place so you can keep up to date at a quicker pace, right? And that way you will know. For shortening my name, no problem, Mariah J. She says, my apologies for shortening your name. My finger hit the button before I was able to type your name. I didn't even see that. I didn't notice that. But I'm going to go into the topic of this live stream is why, right? I have 10 seconds until the 5 minutes of fame is over. So if you want to drop your city and state, the countdown is going. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's it. 5 minutes of fame for so the people that made it in the credit cash flow room were able to get that shout out. So let's go right into the topic of discussion. Why credit is a better asset than cash. Now, I know a lot of people look at credit, in particular credit cards, as liabilities. Credit cards can be your best friend and your worst enemies, right? But you have to know the difference between assets and liability and what to purchase with them. I'm going to give you all an example of an email that I received yesterday from Navy Federal. And it simply stated this, right? You've earned cash back as of July 16th. Your Navy Federal credit card ending, you don't need to know all that, but it's $148.12 of cash back rewards, right? And I can redeem that cash back. I'm trying to say something. I can make a payment, so it's the monthly balance. But this is the only way you're going to beat inflation, right? This is the only way you're going to beat inflation if you have those cash back rewards card. Gwen, thank you so much early on for the $25 super chat. So let's make this live stream worth my while, right? Thank you, or worth your while, right? Worth your knowledge. Thank you for the $25 super chat. Queen Armstrong, thank you for supporting the knowledge and myself and the channel, right? With that, another thing I want you all to do real quick, if you see the live chat, if you're on your phone and you're in the live chat, I just want you to hit that exit out of it real quick and come back in because you might have a question, and hit the thumbs up button, right? That would notify other people that I am live, right? That I am live streaming. So Queen, thank you so much for that $25 super chat. And now the thing is, most people have been taught, or they believe, that credit is bad, right? That credit is evil. And where do they get this belief system from? Really two main dominant platforms. Number one is church. You will not believe it. A lot of people get that myth or that concept or that philosophy right in their church that they attend. Most churches teach that Romans 13:8 says to love no man nothing but to owe them is the explanation of no one should get in debt. I have a twofold definition of what debt is and what credit is, right? But that is not what that scripture is elaborating on or what it's talking about. What the entire, when you're reading the Bible, you have to read the context in its entirety, right? You have to read the context in its entirety. You have to read the chapter in its entirety. And when you see the entire chapter, it's talking about whatever you owe a person, whether it's honor, whether it's a benevolent offering. Do as you say, give people what they are due, give them what they owe. So if you borrow from a person in goodwill and benevolence, right, pay them back, right, pay them back. And so you hear a lot of that myth in church, but you know what? There also is a concept of the year of Jubilee in church, right, in which people were free of their debts after 7 years, and it was called the year of Jubilee, in which they were celebratory, as a celebration, and anyone that you was indebted to had to forgive you of that debt. Now, if debt was a sin, then why is the year of Jubilee the erasing or eradication of our debt in the Bible? Now, this is what I want you all to put in the comments, whether you're watching this live or you're watching on the replay. It is not a sin, right, to get in debt, but it is stress, right? So I want you to type in debt is not sin, but I tell you what, it definitely is stress, right? Debt is not sin, but it most definitely is stress in the Bible. Okay, I'm saying it's coming from Gwen. It says, I would pay for your credit analysis because I have been going back and forth with myself about paying off my debt on my credit reports. and I don't want to make a wrong move. Okay, definitely do that. I will definitely. And Gwen, since you gave us $25 super chat, just for Gwen, this is just me and Gwen talking. I'm talking to Gwen in my camera. Um, on my website, it would say 125, but you just invest $75. That was my pricing, I think last month or a couple of weeks ago, but now I had a price change. So this is just for Miss Gwen Armstrong. Everyone else, it's 125 as of July 31st, 2020, right? It's 125. So Miss Armstrong, you can go ahead and get that done. Actually, when I get out this live stream, I'm going to make some changes. So give me 10, 15 minutes after I get out this live stream before you do it, because now I use a smart credit system. I used to use the Identity IQ report, but it's a much easier process now for people to get their credit analysis. I had a lot of people who did not understand how to download and email me the credit report in HTML format. So I switched over to Smart Credit. It's a much easier process now. So let me make those changes on my website. I just switched over today, about 3 hours ago. And then you can go ahead when I end this live stream and invest in that credit analysis, okay? So that sounds good, and you can just go to my website. Again, Mr. Matt, you're right. That is not sin, but it is stress. Yeah, it definitely is stress, right? Why do you say stress, Queen? Because, but let me tell you something else is stress. The lack of money, right? The lack of money, right? The lack of money. So you have debt that's stress, and you have the lack of money that's stress. I'm gonna give you two examples of two women in the Bible. One woman was in lack, right? She was in lack. She did not have. Okay, that's fine, Gwen. She did not have. She just said she had a little flour, and she was about to cook a meal for her and her son and die. You all, let me take this phone call real quick. Hey, what you doing? Oh, I was gonna call you back on live streaming, so yeah. Okay, but no, I was talking about you powerful about the. That's it. That's why I was talking about the house thing. So, but yeah, no. Oh well, yeah. Bye. All right, bye. So now you had a woman that didn't have the flour, right? She didn't have the water, and she was in stress. She didn't have the cash flow. So lack of money is stress, and then you have the woman in Second Kings who her son had died and was a good servant. I mean, her husband had died, and she was in debt, and she was in stress, right? But she used credit to get out of bad debt. So my message to people, my philosophy is credit and debt is not the same. Now, again, the Bible does not say debt is sin, but it shows you on numerous occasions where people that are in debt have stress. So when you are in bad debt, which is anything that takes money out of your pocket, then it is stressful. Because a lot of times there are two reasons why people get in debt. Number one, they have negative cash flow, right? Meaning that they're not at an income status where they can keep up with inflation or the everyday cost of living expensive. So number one, they're always behind the eight ball because they don't get a pay raise enough on their job to support increasing prices and inflation. So they have to rely or they depend on credit. And number two, simply put, people make bad decisions with their credit and credit cards, right? Even financing vehicles. I looked at credit report where people have 15% interest rate, 18% interest rate, 25% interest rates, and they're driving luxury cars like BMWs, right? Or maybe have a truck finance, and or they can have a very low profile vehicle finance, a Chevy, a Kia. Doesn't matter about the name brand, but they're paying astronomical interest rates. And so they don't make good financial decisions, and they don't invest in getting better credit to get lower interest rates. And so therefore they have high interest rates, which eats up their cash flow as well, because they don't want to invest in repairing the credit. Take a notation of this, take a mental note of this. One thing that wealthy people do, right? Rich and wealthy people do is they leverage their credit, right? And when you get a rich and wealthy status, you're not necessarily, well, most rich and wealthy people do. I heard Steve Harvey testimony that he purchased his first $1 million house and he had bad credit, and he had to come up with a $250,000 down payment towards the $1 million home because of his credit status. So rich and wealthy, though, when getting to those stages, they appreciate their FICO scores. They leverage their FICO scores. Then they get to a point where they have so much cash flow and income in that they no longer need their FICO score, right? Because they have assets that is cash flowing, and the banks will approve them for more money based off of their cash flow and assets. See, a lot of people have this myth wrong. Banks do not approve you, or banks will not reward you with their money just because you have money in the bank, right? Just because you have money in the bank, they will reward you with money without looking at your FICO score, because you have cash flowing assets that puts money or deposits in the banks. Mariah J, thank you for that $2 super chat. You're saying getting that I already invested in analysis. If want to work with you moving forward. Did you email your credit report? Let me know if you emailed your credit report. And yes, cars are bad investments, right? Cars are a bad investment unless you flip the script and you lease vehicles under a home-based business versus buying them, right? Again, cars are a bad investment because they depreciate in value unless you lease a vehicle under the umbrella or the auspice of a home-based business. Why a home-based business, Queen? Why can't I just lease a vehicle under an LLC or a corporation? Well, when you lease a vehicle under a home-based business, you have more freedom or leverage to travel longer distances, other states, and be able to claim the mileage and the tax deductions, right? Unless your business can do business outside of state lines, right? But most people that have LLCs or corporations, they don't have that leverage of doing business outside of state lines. They do business within their state, and they are confined to their state, right? And so a lot of people don't understand that cars can be leased, and the money that you're spending out can flow back to you, right? And because they have depreciating value, which means it's never, let me show you all this. For example, I just logged into my Credit Karma account, and someone says they're rich and wealthy and they pay cash. That cannot be true. The rich and wealthy never use that cash, ever. The rich and wealthy exchange their cash for real assets, because cash is the lowest yielding asset one can have. So now that whoever statement, that's just someone on my Periscope that's just making a false claim. Too many people think subprime 630, 670 credit is good. That's true. People think when they have a credit score, especially if they see it on Credit Karma, they think that 630 and 670 is a good credit score because that's what Credit Karma say, but they don't know that that's just their Vantage score. It's not your true FICO score. It's not what the banks and lenders will use, right? Teach, preach, boomerang money. So let me log into, this is what I saw, and a little surprised because I really don't log into my Credit Karma account that much. When I saw this today, I didn't know they actually had that on Credit Karma, but they do. So I thought it was some good information. If I can find it again, it actually stated, okay, here it is. It actually gave me the current value, and this is when of my BMW, and so it has the current value is $4,375. I was like, wow. In the last 5 months, it depreciated $200. So my this is paid off. I don't have a car note. I don't have that BMW has been paid off. All of my vehicles, I don't have a note on them. And if I did get a new one or up to date one, it would be leased through my home-based business. But I saw that Credit Karma had that information. I thought that was amazing because when I did get that car financed, even though it was at 3% interest rate through Ally Bank Financial, it was a $30,000 vehicle back in 2010, right? $30,000 vehicle back in 2010. I think the interest rate on that was like a 2.75%. So just let you know, right now it's worth $4,875, right? But hey, I drive it. It still is free. I'm note free, no note on it. Just keep up with maintenance, right? And you have a great mechanic. My air blows well. Seat warmer still warms good, right? I was surprised at that too, at that as well, Curtis. Yeah, they tell you your car value. So this is why I know that the person that made that comment about he pays with things with cash, he's not rich and wealthy, because that's not what the rich and wealthy do, right? Credit Karma purchased into it. Well, that Curtis Credit Karma purchased into it, and so they can combine your credit and your finances, right? Because under FICO 10, now carrying debts like student loan debts, vehicle debts is going to weigh more heavily against you and your credit score. So they made this move in preparation of where we are now under the new FICO 10 model. So what do I mean by that? Used to be a point in time that student loan debts would not do much damage to your credit score because, you know, it wouldn't be calculated if you're approved for a home or what you call installment loans. Or even, so you can have high student loan debt in some cases, still get approved for a home, a vehicle, or you can have high vehicle debt because those were considered installment debts. And then debts that you carry on credit card, which is called revolving debt, it would be considered, if you carry high balances on credit card, it will lower your credit score even more. Well, now they're looking at your total credit profile. So that's why it's including your debt on your vehicles, giving you more information about your student loan, because now it's an inclusion of your credit and your finances. And it's a 2-year look, history, right? A 2-year history. So what I mean by that is no longer looking at a 30-day snapshot of your credit score or report as it would in the past. Gwen says, I know this real queen, my car is paid off and I don't want another note. It feels good not to have a note. I'm going to drive the wheels off. Well, I will get another vehicle, but this time I'm leasing because I already have 3 that I don't have a note on. So why buy another vehicle and be locked into a payment for 5 or 6 years? So my lease strategy is based upon 2, that I have 3 vehicles that are debt free, well maintenance and well mechanics. So for someone that when you turn your lease in and you have nothing that's yours, free and clear, right? That may or may not be a strategy, right? Because when I turn my lease in my vehicle, I still have 3 other vehicles. But I still tell anybody, whether you're, buying or purchasing, it is always more cost smart to lease, especially when you can get the tax deductions for them, right? Meaning that there are so many tax deductions in leasing that you can do under a home-based business versus buying. I have some people that lease, but they don't have the tax deduction. So they're losing thousands of dollars on the table. Okay, I see you, Mariah J. You said you did respond back your scores in the 740s. Okay, I think I remember that now. So yeah, because when I see people that come to me with a high credit score in the 740s, it is somewhat of a relief because their credit doesn't need that much of work. Right? It doesn't take that much of work to get them to where they want to be credit wise. So when I see, and a lot of people think that credit analysis is just for people with bad or low credit scores. That's not true when it comes to me. You can have a high credit score, but you can be getting denied for business credit, right? And there's some things you need to do to your credit profile to get approved, even in the 740 range. And it may need just some very minor cosmetic work to get you approved for that business credit. So again, credit cards, cashback reward cards is a great asset to have, especially with pricing increasing and for asset purchases. Like many people that $600 stimulus ended today and they may be jobless. What if they had those credit cards for emergency situations like such a time as this? But they have been taught the other side of the philosophy is to cut up your credit cards, right? You have the famous financial guru, Dave Ramsey. And I tell people all the time, but yet he accepts credit cards as a payment method for you to purchase his products. So, it depends on what you do with it. What are you purchasing with your credit card? Are you purchasing assets or are you purchasing liabilities? And the thing is that many people don't know what true assets are. So whether you all are watching this live in the replay, tell me, what are some assets that you can purchase with your credit card? Yes, even with the 740, people still need some guidance to get qualified with business credit because it's not about the credit score. It's also inclusive of the credit profile. And I tell people all the time, I do not do credit repair, right? I do not do credit repair. That may seem, I'm not a credit repair business. And that may seem strange to some people. What I do is, financial guru. We can call him financial guru or I don't know. So what I do is credit restoration, reinvention, and revision, which is my message to people is to revision, rethink about how you use or abuse your credit. See, credit repair businesses just dispute to get negative items removed from your credit report, but they don't inform you, many don't, how to add positive items, right? Even after you get the negatives removed to build a stronger profile. Or they don't tell you little things that make a big differences, like you need your addresses and names deleted, right? If you have more than one address reporting and name on your credit report, to have a stronger credit profile when banks and lenders look at that, right? They don't educate you of how to use credit in a positive way and not a negative way, right? They dispute the negative items and pretty much after that is done. They'll give you a concept to revision your credit. So let me read my comments. I am signing up for your credit service soon to get some assistance to get you the information you need. Okay, sounds good. On Facebook, assets are rental property, silver, gold, and land. Okay, that's true. Jesus says home, gold, silver, crypto, a big asset, and home rental, right? And crypto is a big asset now, going more digital. Let's look at gold and silver today. I'm trying to see if the gold price is over 2,000 today. Are they still lingering around? I haven't had time to really look at that. It's an interesting article. Let's look at silver real quick. And silver is and gold are things that you can purchase with your credit card. It never amazes me. Sometimes I hear people suggest to people to get out of credit card debt and bad debt, but in the same breath they'll say, "Oh, but I went and purchased me a new vehicle today because I think I deserve it, you know." And I went and purchased a new vehicle, but they would bash people that's carrying credit card debt. Or they will upgrade on their homes and they will purchase a new house, but they will bash people when it comes to credit card debt. There's nothing wrong with upgrading your house. There's nothing wrong with wanting a bigger, finer house, right? But what about getting a rental house? Nothing wrong with getting or wanting a better, more up-to-date, comfortable vehicle to drive, right? I don't believe in being frugal. I don't believe in being frugal. I work hard. I think in life you need balance. So I will play hard. You know, I drive that vehicle now because I choose to, but I am upgrading in the future, right? Because I like sitting in the lap of luxury, but I will not go out and purchase it this time around, right? I don't want to drive old dilapidated vehicle. I like to sit in the lap of luxury. So instead of people thinking frugal, right, they could think of creative ways to build their cash flow and build their asset. I think this was an interesting article. Silver, poor man's gold, no more. Prices for the metal trade 25%. Get the return on your investment, right, for the month of July. Investors have focused on a rise in record prices for gold, but silver's up about 25% in July. The metal's second biggest monthly gain on record. It is still undervalued compared to the yellow metal. Silver is often called the poor man gold. That's why I have a silver stacking report on my website to let people know what's the top 10 silver products to invest in during these times. Because you need to know things like what's the difference between a coin, what's the difference between a bullion, and what's the difference between a bar, right? And then you need to know creditable places to purchase your silver from, right? And that's all included in my silver stacking report. So silver is often called the poor man gold because some factors that cause that cause gold prices to rise do the same thing to silver prices. And what is driving gold prices now are mainly the fear of inflation. You know, inflation is a rise of prices, right? If you're new to my channel, it's a rise of prices on your goods and services. So mainly the fear of inflation due to the magnitude of monetary and fiscal stimulus worldwide and the flight to safety due to uncertainty and how the global economy will recover. Silver, however, is cheaper per ounce. That's why, I've been telling people than gold, and prices are more volatile. He says it also had been lagging behind gold's rise, and the ratio number of ounces of silver to buy to 1 ounce of gold is historically high, implying that gold is overpriced or maybe silver is underpriced. This quote says, if silver is underpriced, there is a lot of money to be made, right? Director of U.S. Mint, this is Ed Moy, Director of U.S. Mint from 2006 to 2011. So what they're saying that When the gold and silver ratio is really, really high, that's your time to invest or exchange or convert your cash into silver, because that means that silver prices are still high. So let's look at gold. Gold rises to a record with prospects for 2,000 an ounce, stronger than ever. Isn't that a beautiful picture? This is a life-size gold horse made of bronze coated with gold foil, displays in Japanese jeweler shop. It's pretty nice. December 26, 2013. So it's a life size, made of bronze and coated with gold foil. Okay, the $2,000 mark will be easily broken. Easily broken. Gold futures posted a record settlement on Friday, along with their strongest weekly performance since early April, which calls for the never before seen level of 2,000 an ounce for precious metal coming out louder than ever. Now you have so many bulls now in gold and silver. Gold and silver bulls will face a real challenge over the next 2 weeks. This is an article dated July 25th. Says chief market analysis. But if the tensions between China and the United States escalate, the U.S. could see a sharp daily increase of Rona cases. Then silver and gold would only rise. If there is a price correction, right, or reset in our currency system, and the $2,000 mark for gold will be very easily broken, right? And so I tell people right now that many people, credit is going to be for the elite pretty soon. It will no longer soon. Credit is only something that elite people will have access to, right? Well, why do you say that, Queen? Because I just listened to a podcast today speaking of FHA, for example, loan guidelines changing, which means, for example, for investors that want to invest in real estate and multi-unit properties, right? The income that those landlords normally receive for their tenants would normally count as income. But now the FHA guidelines and even some conventional loans is preventing it to count as income. So now you need more of the cash and the credit, right? Or you have to show cash flowing assets, right? It's going to take a combination of both. And so just like silver is the poor man gold, I tell people that credit cards for middle class, the poor working middle class, is the poor working middle class gold as well. Because you can purchase assets with credit cards. I, for example, purchased my first flip house with a Discover credit card. It's $5,000 on the market for sale, right? I got the card straight out of college. And at that time, they had a 0% balance transfer offer that came with balance transfer checks. I wrote the check out in order to myself, deposited into my personal checking account, and I think it was just a $500 credit limit. So I had some extra funds in my checking account, and I had no job at the time. I just graduated college, was seeking a job as a teacher and a coach for basketball. I had no job at the time, and purchased that house and made well over 10 times my return on the sale. And all of that was done through a credit card, right? So purchasing real assets is real. Another way that I'm using credit card for real assets, I wanted to do half on my recent investment property, a condo. I wanted to do half cash, half liquidity, and half credit, right? I didn't want to tie all of my cash up in purchasing it. And so what I did was took a low interest personal loan because it was a condo. You couldn't get FHA approval, right, for it. And I think, could I qualify for a conventional loan? I'm not sure at this time. I think even the conventional loan qualification took me 6 months showing that I had a tenant in good standing. So what I did was leverage my cash, took out a personal loan, right, for half and paid the other half with cash out front. So then I came across a balance transfer offer on my credit card with a $25,000 limit on it. So the interest was so much cheaper on my credit card than the personal loan. The personal loan was low as well, right? But it was 0% on my credit card. So I transferred that loan over to my credit card. So this is my other investment property that's on a credit card with 0% interest, right? So credit cards, when used the right way, is nothing but a blessing. Okay, Mariah J says she second that. She doesn't have a note and she don't want one right now. Yeah, it's great not to have a vehicle note, especially if you have a good, reliable vehicles. Anthony, you can look up the thread. I will show some. I will highlight some examples of assets that my followers already listed. Rental homes, home rental, silver, land assets, real estate. And why silver and gold right now? Mostly silver, because you'll get a higher rate on your return with silver. If it's still available, it's because it won't take long for you to get. It's because they're reaching their highest peaks right now of their cash value, right? And the Fed is printing out so much paper money, well, I hate to say money, so much paper cash currency that it forces gold and silver currency value to increase. And as more stimulus money is being distributed, gold and silver will continue to rise, as well as cryptocurrencies as well, right? And this is because with gold and silver in the United States, it is constitutional that gold and silver is money. Everything else, including cash, is just credit, right? And so because of that, whenever the cash system has to be reset because of its high debt, it has to fall back on gold and silver to reset the accounting system. And so that's a lot of information that the poor middle class or the poor working middle class don't know. They feel like their only means outside of cash, many of them do, is the stock market, right? And the stock market, if they don't know, is also controlled and manipulated not only by the CEOs of the businesses, but also the government as well. So if anyone could do anything in the stock market, I think trading would be the best. You definitely don't want to hold for the long term, because you get those gains and then you can lose them within a matter of a day. I'm holding it for a long term. So if you're going to get the gains, get in, get out, get your gains. But the reason why I don't really like stock market is because your gains is taxed on capital gains, which means you're still losing anywhere from 30 to 40% of your gains if you don't know about business tax, home-based business tax deductions, right? So that's that, or even with Forex, right? If people do not have tax strategies in place, whatever their gains on Forex will be, it will be taken away in the form of taxes anywhere from 30 to 40%. Hello, Fee Bill, St. Louis. Thank you for joining the channel. Make sure you subscribe as well, right? And if you have time, Fee Bill, hit that thumbs up button. So crypto, why crypto? Crypto is not is not at this point manipulated or controlled by the IRS, by the feds, right? Bitcoin is decentralized, but sometimes I do wonder because I look at, sometimes the S&P 500s and the Dow performance, and I look at Bitcoin, and sometimes they look like they're on the same scale, they average the same thing. But, Bitcoin is scheduled to have a big move, a big takeoff soon. And for the people that may be just joining in, this is just one example that I gave or that I showed earlier about why you need to use cashback reward credit cards right now, because prices are increasing on your everyday goods and services. So not only are you getting 30 to 40% tax, you're also, right, getting higher inflation costs. So when you get cashback rewards or use those cards, at least you get a percentage of that money back when you use your cards. You see that it's $148.12 for my Navy Federal card. Just, the email that I received about cashback rewards. And so that's why cash credit cards is always, in my opinion, a better way to use once you know the strategies to use it, right, than cash is. Because again, cash is the lowest yielding assets. That's why banks want cash flow. They don't want cash. So what do you mean, Queen, they don't want cash? Because they don't pay you high enough interest on it. You get 0.03% yielding interest if you have a savings account or a CD account, right? And so they don't give you any interest to hold your banks like they did our grandparents or great grandparents years ago, where they may be earning 6% on a savings account. So it was smart for them at that time, right, to have a savings account or to save cash. Well, it's not smart anymore. If your money, if inflation it is beating the interest that you're gaining on your money by having it in the bank. So what you do is you convert or exchange your cash into high yielding assets, right? High yielding assets. Let me look at this. What's the fastest way to raise your credit score? Phoebe, I have several videos. You can go on my channel and just search for those videos. I have several videos explaining how to get an 800 credit score. So you can definitely go to my channel and search for those videos, right? How to get the fastest way to get an 800 credit score. So with that being said, the question is, do you have credit? For these uncertain times, do you have access to credit cards that can help you purchase assets? Let me say that again. Do you have access to credit cards, right, that can help you purchase assets? Do you have credit? Do you have them for emergency situations as well, right? Do you have cashback credit cards in your possession? So my challenge to everyone is to be proactive and not reactive, meaning that no matter how good I am, if you're already late or if you're just not getting started, you're already too far behind. But it's not too late, right? It is not too late. But just know the credit agencies are experiencing this Corona pandemic as well. And so the process is not as fast as it was, but it's better to get started now than never, right? It is better for you to get started now than to never get started. I'm not saying that our hope is lost. I mean, I think in the best opinion, you could have started like yesterday, but hey, if not yesterday, you can still start today. So I just want people to revision their credit. I want them to look at ways that you can use credit to get access. And if nothing else, use your credit right now to assist you or to help you, right? Purchase essential items in this process that maybe you are not employed, maybe your stimulus, you got your last stimulus, or another way, another asset that I did not mention that credit cards can obtain for you is a home-based business. Yep, a home-based business. For $228 investment on your credit card, you can invest in a home-based business. See, rich and wealthy people brag on the money they make off of leverage and not labor. I'll say that again. Rich and wealthy people brag off the money that they make off of leverage and not labor. See, you have some people with this philosophy that say, I'm going to work for every dime I get. You sure true. You're only going to get 60% of your paycheck if you don't invest in a home-based business. You're only going to get 60% of your paycheck for your hard-earned labor, for your hours, for your expertise, your intellectual knowledge, if you don't invest in a home-based business, right? Will says you just signed up for your credit consultation. Will, let me show you this real quick because I just made this change on my website. Will, and I did get that. Will, this is something I just made this change. So let me walk you through and I'll share this link with you while you have me live. Okay. For the credit analysis and consultation, Will, what has changed is that people no longer have to email me their credit reports. You just use this platform. It looks so much colorful now. I like that. Let me copy and paste for you. And so let me see if your email address is, and I have two different phones. So email me your login information. Will, once you get your credit report from this platform, the link that I'm about to share with you, and Will, in your notes, you did not include your email address for me. So this is what I need you to do. Go to this link. 1 second. Give me 1 second, Will. Let me stop sharing. Let me give you the HTTPS link so it can be easy for you just to copy and paste while you're online, because that one doesn't have the HTTP link. Use this link. Well, that one doesn't either. I don't see the HTTPS, but let me try. It may do it for you, but a lot of times I always like to make it easier when people are online. And that may make it where you can just click on it. Go there, or you can just smartcredit.com. And Will, my email address is ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. And email me the account information that you create with that smart link. This is my email address, Will. So once you email me that information, I will have your email address because you didn't include it on your Cash App, but the payment was received. And then, so once you send me that email at ld@fixmycreditandcash.com, then just follow those directions on my website. And again, my website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. So look on the credit help. All the instructions you need are on the credit help. And just send that to my email at ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. Right. And that should take care of you. Just follow those instructions on my website and then just email me that account information that you created through this link. Right, through that link. So let's get on silver again real quick. I was thinking today, really, why is there a shortage? What's up with the coin shortage? You know, I know it's always something more seductive than what's on the surface, right? What's on the surface. So I looked up the quarter, for example, or the dime silver melt value, right? I looked up the quarter or the dime silver melt value because I actually thought that there were no copper in the newer pennies. And I definitely thought that there was no silver content in our current coins in the United States. But then I found that was not true. There is still a little copper in more up-to-date pennies, right? And you have these coins, 90% silver, the standing Liberty quarter from 1916 to 1930, the Washington quarter produced 1932, 1964, 90% silver, the half dollar produced from 1892 to 1915, 90% silver. The Walking Liberty half dollar is also Liberty half dollar. Let me see if I can find it. So these are all the silver, 90% silver context. Kennedy half dollar, you know, made up to 1964. Now, I didn't see anything except this silver dime Eisenhower that was produced up to 1976 that still had it's 60% copper and 40% silver, right? And then you have the American silver dollar, which is still in production and rotation up to date to 1986. Up to date is 99.93% silver. And then you have the America the Beautiful, the 5-ounce silver, started production. Listen at this. Starting with 2010 until now, up to date, 99.93% silver. So right now, your melt value or the value of this like $126, you know, and different amounts. And these were produced in 2010. And so now the Washington quarter has 90% silver. And it all became clear to me why the coin shortage, because they want to make sure that the silver, right? The silver, right? Eileen Robinson, is taken out of your hands, the real wealth, because there are still some coins out here in circulation that have high silver contents. And so take the silver out of your hand, do a digital reset, right? And they're going to hoard again the real money. Someone was telling me today, they went to a store and they said, we don't have any coins, no change. So if you use cash, you will not be able to get your coins back. So they either had an option, and if they did not have the PIN for their debit card, right, they could not use their debit cards without the PIN. Isn't that something? So they had to have either a credit card or the exact change, or they was going to experience inflation, a rise in pricing of goods and services, because the store told them, we don't have coins to give you. And that's a true story here in Mississippi. Yeah, Superman, everything, I can't tell you. As Superman, there's so much going on. You missed, but mainly we're talking about credit and why it's a higher asset, yielding asset, especially cashback credit cards, than using cash right now. We're talking about the true reason behind the coin shortage, because a lot of your coins, and let's look at the penny, right? Penny copper value for pennies, and let's look at the materials that's in pennies. The copper penny is worth more than 1 cent. And if you own any Lincoln copper from 1909 to 1982, then you still have a high 95% copper in that and melt value. So why the copper penny is more than 1 cent? So the prices of commodity have risen substantially since the turn of the century, and some of the coins have your pocket or piggy bank are worth more today in the past. Pennies used to be made from 95% copper, at least until 1982. Since 2000, the price of copper has risen drastically. Isn't that something? Drastically, making the meltdown value of these pennies more than the face value of the coin. Commodity prices continue to rise and fall with market changes which affect the currency value of the penny. It is illegal to respond to this. It is illegal to melt down 5 cent and 1 cent US coins. Investors hoping to gain from the future worth of copper and their old pennies are counting on the pennies eventually being discontinued as legal tender. Listen, that's why the coin shortage. I had a ha-ha moment today. Discontinued as legal tender, and the government allowed the copper coins to be sold for the value of their metal. The copper and the zinc penny. The copper and the zinc penny, a pre-1982 penny consists of 95% copper and 5% zinc, right? It contains 2.9% copper, and the price of copper December 10th, 2019 was $2.75 a pound. That meant the copper in each penny is worth about 1.7 cents. So the penny is not worth the cents. Thus, the meltdown value of the pre-1982 penny was about 70% more than the face value. 98% of the face, 70% more than the face value. Beginning in 1982, pennies began to be manufactured out of zinc, amounting up to 97.5% of the mass of the coin, with a thin copper coating amounting to 2.5% of the penny's worth. So there is still a little percentage of copper in pennies produced or made after 1982. But it also has zinc in it for pennies that's manufactured, right? Some pennies dated 1982 are almost all copper type, and some mostly zinc kind. You can tell them apart by weighing them if you have a sensitive scale. Now, this is why I also tell people to invest in the silver stacking report for $35 because you can also know what silver, right, and its meltdown value. So you have, I think it's raining in here, Mississippi. Yeah, it's raining hard. I thought I heard something. So all silver is not created equal. Know the difference between coins, bullions, bars. Then you have some silver that have two purposes. They're twofold, meaning it can be used for monetary, right? You can go to a store in the event that the economy is just going through what is predicted a Great Depression type status in 2020. The announcement of what silver is worth will be announced hourly on your radio stations because that's just how fast that silver pricing will be changing by the ounce. And if you have a certain type of silver coin, during those times, it will be used for monetary again, right? As well as industrial. So you need to know which ones can be used for industrial purposes as well. So I was like, that's why the silver coinage, right? That's why the silver coinage. They ran to teach us to stay away from credit, which is it. I'm just saying, yeah, this is not the channel for Dave Ramsey philosophy. Fee Bill says Dave Ramsey isn't a good teacher. Superman, Queen, you gave me a deep air company to clean up inquiries and late pays previously. I forgot. Please remind me. William, I have no idea what you're talking about. A deep air company. I don't know. Just send me an email, William, or go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com, and send that message, or send me a 2 or 3 liner email, right? Do either one of those, so that I can answer it as quick as possible. So don't make the email very, very lengthy. I get tons of emails on a daily basis, and so to expedite me responding, send me a short email. Okay, William says he's buying a boatload of silver. Yes, silver is the poor man's gold. Silver is definitely the poor man's gold. Okay, got a text from William. All right, William, I got your text. I'll respond in a few minutes. Your silver, Mariah J said, where you getting your sober from? If you all want to know where the silver is, you can invest in the silver stacking report. The 3 places that I get mine from. It's only a $35 investment. So this is the Queen of Coins silver stacking report. And these are the instructions here of where to get your silver from, $35, where to buy it, the 10 physical silver coins, know what to invest in. The number 5 on this list brings you back a 300% ROI, return on investment, which means, and then when you sell it back for dealers for capital gains, you don't have to give a 1099-B form. And again, as I always know, include your name and email address so I can email it to you. So that's the Queen of Coins silver stacking report. Not only is it wise to know where the best sources to purchase it from, it's also wise to know what you're purchasing, because our silver is not created equally, right? Our silver is not created equally. So let me respond this. And I think I'm about to end my live stream. Right now, I'm responding to William via text so he can give me that information. And if I don't have any comments, because I've been live for an hour and the rain is coming down, I'm going to log off. So it's 1 hour and 10 minutes right now. Take one of my my house. My voice is getting weak. Take one of my house. When you do a lot of talking, you have to keep your house up. And the kind I have also boosts your immune system as well. Superman question is about ounces. What do you think? I think ounces is always good to buy. Superman. Ounces is always good to buy. Gwen, did you say you emailed me your credit report? Let me check. Did you already email it to me? Because I don't know if you Gwen, I don't even know if I emailed you your silver stacking report because I see that you invested in it on Tuesday of this week, but I don't have an email for you, Gwen. So Gwen, put me your email address before I log out so I can email it. Your silver stacking report. Gwen, I need your email address. You're welcome, Bill. Superman, if you want to contact me, go to my website. That's what I need, Jesus. Go to www.fixmycreditandcash.com and fix mycreditandcash.com and send me a message on my website. Thank you for subscribing. Bill, thank you so much. Azu said I need. Got it. I definitely will invest in it. I might get me a humidifier in here too. Gwen, I'm just waiting to get your. I tell you what, Gwen, email me and put in the subject line Gwen Armstrong. This is my email address. Email me at ld@fixmycreditandcash.com and just put in the subject line Gwen Armstrong. Then I'll email you that report. Oh, I see your email address now, Gwen. Hold on. And it's 2Gs@gmail.com. And I will include the information about the credit analysis too when I send you that email. Okay. Turmeric. Okay, I write that down too as well. Yeah, these houses have kind of been helping me, but at least I do get it says 100% 50 daily value vitamin C. That helps support the immune system. So at least I'm getting that out of this as well. So I definitely will invest in those two products that you are, and I'll probably be sipping more of those teas when I go live. But hey, this is the Queen of Credit out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I have some work to do. I just want to let Martin know what I'm about to do is, Martin, I will begin when I get out this live stream and do what I have to do with Gwen and everything, and do some critic analysis. I want to look at those designs t-shirt. Who that 770? James, my business is not structured that way. I do not call people, right? I do not call people, and I do not chase people for business. And I also request people don't call me. When I'm doing credit consultation throughout the day, it's a very intense, stressful type focus. So I don't take random phone calls. I don't give phone calls. It's how my business is structured. You are welcome to go on my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. And there is a message center, it will come directly to my email and you can send me a message. I don't call people, I don't chase them, and I request that they don't call me. It is nothing that we can discuss over the phone that can't be sent in a text and or email, right? Because I have to have that focus, and the email or text allows me to respond to it at my timing and it's not interrupting my day. So I don't call, I don't chase. I'm overwhelmed with clients. I have no reason to pick up the phone and call anyone, right? And I do credit consultation, not credit counseling. The difference is many people from years of experience that I used to pick up the phone and talk to only had somewhat of a, I want you to hear about my credit situation story. I don't care what your credit situation was, and I don't mean any harm, right? And I have empathy for anybody. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the business line, it's like, well, no matter what causes the situation, this is what you're going to need to do to get your credit fixed, and this is going to be the investment cost. So me listening to that over the phone was very little productive for me, right? My number one asset we didn't include is time. We talked about crypto, we talked about coins, we talked about real estate. We didn't talk about time. This is my number one asset. So I don't call people, and I request that they don't call me because I do too much live streaming anyway for that. Breaking news. Let's go easy. Please, easy, don't hurt them. Republicans in the Senate cannot come up with a plan to help unemployment. Elections start tomorrow. Let me Google that real quick. Who that says it's about your credit analysis? Who that? Here you go. Text me. Text my phone right now live. I promise you. Just like I did William, I'm going to respond about your credit analysis. There you go. Who that? Who that? You from New Orleans? Remind me of that Master P. Who that? Say they want to do that. My run up and get your blue bag. I like that. I like that profile name. Who that? Send me a text. Thank you, Superman. I'm gonna be Superwoman one day. I want to be like you. I subscribe. This woman is a blessing. Thank you so much. Who that? Send me a text. Send me a text. Send me a text. Who that? Oh, let's see what Easy is talking about real quick. Why? Who that? Text my phone. Eviction start tomorrow. Republicans in Senate cannot come up with a plan. Eviction start tomorrow, and 600 unemployment is also. Let's look at that. Also ended. Who that? I'm still waiting on you to send me that text message. I'm taking my phone number down. Let's look at this. Oh, who that's from Mississippi? Well, who that? You know about that 601. There you. I guess that's you. Let's see. Let's see if this is who that. Who that? You still probably a Saints fan from Mississippi. That's all we have to depend on. We don't have our own. Let me see if this is who that. No, I don't think it's who that. That wasn't who that. That was somebody else. It was about credit though. I need to keep that up so I can look into that. Wow, I see that. Let's listen to that.
Help the unemployed, but we want to encourage work, and we've learned a very tough lesson.
Lawmakers are hoping that a bipartisan deal can be reached quickly on another coronavirus relief bill.
I think this is a starting place.
With the pandemic showing no sign of ending, Republicans and Democrats agree that both businesses and workers will need more financial assistance. The question is, how much?
It's not a bailout. This is about keeping people attached to their employment.
Senate Republicans unveiled a series of proposals on Monday with a total cost of around $1 trillion. The HEALS Act would reduce emergency federal unemployment benefits from $600 a week to $200.
2
We want
months.
to continue to help the unemployed, but we want to encourage work. And we've learned a very tough lesson that when you pay people not to work, what do you expect?
Back in May, the Democrat-led House passed a $3 trillion relief bill.
We clearly do not have shared values. Having said that, we just want to see if we can find some common ground.
It's frustrating because they dithered for 3 months and they're still trying to get their act together.
The GOP's proposal would also shield businesses from lawsuits stemming from the coronavirus. Both parties' bills call for sending another
The more this happens, the better for gold and silver.
round of $1,200 checks to most taxpayers. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Interesting. Okay. So here are the possible payment dates. The next stimulus package will likely send out a new payment of up to $1,200 per person, but you won't receive it right away. Heading into the weekend, as Easy say, breaking news, with the $600 unemployment benefit ending and Americans looking to Washington. Save yourself for continuing assistance as they struggle through a worsening U.S. economy. White House and Democrat negotiators say they are working on the details of the next stimulus proposal, but appear no closer to an agreement. We are working around the clock to see if we can reach an agreement. Stephen Mnuchin said Thursday evening whether or not the bill include a new $1,200 stimulus check, who would qualify to get one. The key questions about the next economic stimulus package. But another big question, how soon could you get the next stimulus payment? Depends entirely on how long it takes for the White House and Congress negotiators to agree on the final bill. The two sides have until next Friday to reach an agreement on the deal based on the August 7th deadline set by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. When the current session ends, but senators are already talking about pushing back the start of their scheduled August break. There is no point in considering going home at the end of the next week unless we resolve this problem. You do know they get extra money, right, for these sessions, special sessions. Until the U.S. senators decline, we can work out a possible schedule for the IRS for sending the first checks in the mail or to your bank account. Okay, I don't think it'll be checks in the mail. I think it'll be more like debit cards because they said a coin shortage, but that's just me. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong on that one. Including how long the sides can agree on the next proposal, could speed up or slow down check delivery. Wow. So when can the IRS stimulus go out? August recess, August 7th, which means the Congress has the final stimulus bill. Okay, I got you now, Hudette. I'm going to respond to you. After the senators return to their home states until the session picks up again September 8th. We don't know how long it would take time for this bill is signed into law in the IRS and checks, but we can glean hints based on the CARES Act. So, like the CARES Act, the date the Senate passed it was March 25th. The date passed by the House was March 26th. The date it was signed was March 27th. So it took approximately 18 days. The first checks were sent April the 15th. The HEALS Act, the proposal date was July 27th. Negotiations began July 27th. negotiation time before the deadline is 7 to 9 days. So they have the deadline until August the 7th. If it's negotiated, if the Senate negotiate the bill by August 6th, and then the House passes on the 1st, the next date, like they did with the CARES Act, right, which will be August 7th, and then our president signs August 10th, then they're expecting first checks could be sent out as early as August 24th. However, if the Senate prolongs the process a month and it does not pass until September, the House agrees on the next day, September the 9th, and if the president signs the very next day, the 10th or 11th, the week of September 28th. Now, how could the new stimulus checks arrive quicker this time? Republican plan to provide another $1,200 for economic impact. People, this is the last hurrah. I'm telling you, when you get this, invest it wisely because it's going to have to last you probably into 2020, especially if you're unfortunately unemployment, right? $1,200 economic impact for most Americans. We're going to continue the economic impact payments that were made in April or May. Here's how you can get your check sooner. The IRS already built Get My Payment tool. Isn't that interesting? For dual purpose of tracking your stimulus check payment and signing up for direct deposit seems digital to me, right? Implementation of this tool for the first round of stimulus checks took time that the IRS is unlikely to need to process a second check. What could delay the IRS sending the next stimulus? If Congress and President Trump can't agree on the provisions of the new stimulus bill and miss the August 7th deadline, it would be another month before the next session starts and Senate and House can recover the proposed, debate, and pass the bill unless the Senate and the House delay the start of their August recess. So, looks like if it's not August 7th, then it'll be September the 8th or 9th. So now it's looking like another 2 weeks, maybe before the HEALS Act is even come together with the House, right? Thank you, Phoebe. I was reading. Say go to screen. Yeah. Oh yeah. I tell people everything is strategically planned. Don't think our government is just unorganized. I promise you, don't think. It's all strategically planned. Right before the election, but things are going to look so bad before the election that most people probably will vote Democrat. President Trump don't care. He's Republican. He's going to get richer with a bad economy, right? So right before the election. Yeah, pretty sure. So what do you do to create your own stimulus? What do you do to create your own stimulus? Get daily pay from the home-based business I'm in. I don't know what you all want me. There's no other way, I think, right? Now, if you know trading, other ways, right? If you know the skill of trading, just know the stock market is going to be highly volatile. But if you can get money off day trading or swing trading, if you know that skill, those are some recommendations as well. So how can I apply for your services? On my website, www.fixmycreditcash.com. Another emergency aid is get your credit up. Get some credit cards. I've been telling people for a long, long time that credit unions like Navy Federal and Penn Fed, some national non-credit unions, they are very friendlier than banks during recessions. So if you need credit assistance, get your custom credit analysis. And again, analysis is not a quotation of a price for service, consulting services. An analysis include a detailed look at your credit to see every way that you can boost and improve your credit score, which is inclusive of a cash flow plan to pay down debt is necessary, inclusive of knowing what trade lines to add because you might have a thin credit line, right? So you will know what trade lines you can add to boost your credit lines. If you can see all of this is your instructions, right? Whatever is the professional and expert advice to improve your credit. And then you have to email me back your login information, right? And we work together and we get started from there. I just released a new video today explaining how to work with me. This is a co-partnership, working together simultaneously. It's not a hands-out project where you just fiddle your fingers and you don't know what's going on. How to set up your credit monitoring systems for free, right? I just uploaded that video today that I would send to my clients, and we're going to work as quickly and expeditiously as possible to get your credit on tap, because credit is an asset in this crisis, right? Credit is an asset in this crisis. So my website again is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Now, other things that you, if you know trading or even Forex, I can't think of his name, but Jeremy Cash, CEO, sent a lot of clients to me for credit because you can evidently use credit cards to invest in Forex, right? And he sends a lot of clients to me. Thank you, James. Just cash out me $10 for sowing a seed. And he teaches Forex trading. I know nothing about it, but he helps people learn this skill. This is his YouTube page. Once they build their credit up, this might be an option for you. So this is his YouTube. He sent a lot of clients to me. And actually in this video, The Power of Credit, he actually gave me a shout out, about using credit cards, right? This is a shout out right here. Let me let you out. See that? So he sent a lot of clients to me. So let me share this.
All right, so check this. $121,000 in credit cards. And guess what he said he was using it for? At the bottom, he says, more funding for Forex. Imagine having 100
Let me replay this.
all that stuff, right? But if you learn this, all of that other stuff will fall into place how it's supposed to. And I'll go over that as well. This right here is a guy by the name of Daryl Drake, another one of my good friends. Daryl Drake has been online for a while, okay? Some of you may know who Daryl Drake is. But this was in 2017. This just lets you know how long.
I just noticed this. I need to follow him. He said if people only knew how credit can create cash flow, they would drop everything and get their credit fixed. There we go.
The gurus have been doing this stuff. You see what I'm saying? This just lets you know how long they've been doing it. Even longer than this, though. But he said if people only knew how credit can create cash flow, they would drop everything and get their credit fixed. 33,000 in 7 days, guys. 33,000 in 7 days. He turned his credit into cash. $18,000 checks and then cash. Do you see this? This is what you were missing out on. So while you're at your job right now, and while you're, stressed about bills, stressed about money, you don't have to be, guys. The money is there. All your dreams and all of the things that you want to do is all lies in you getting your credit fixed. And I can't stress this enough, guys, because the power and the leverage that you will have from just doing this, you will not even need a job anymore, right? You now have the money to fund your dreams and do whatever it is that you've been wanting to do. And that can happen in the next 6 to 8 months, guys. I'll teach you and show you how. But let's get into it. This right here is my guy, Neil Charles. Shout out to Neil Charles. My guy, Neil Charles, if you can see in the bottom left, right down here, he says, I increased my overall credit limit to $121,000, guys, in credit cards. $121,000 in credit cards. And guess what he said he was using it for? At the bottom, he says, more funding for Forex. Imagine having $121,000 that you can now use for something like Forex, right? Even though he wouldn't use the entire thing, but now he has thousands of dollars to play with in the market. And if he learned the skill, and once he does learn the skill, he can make that same amount, $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Guys, this is how people are doing it. This is how people are eating. Okay? This is the thing that you were missing. Now that you're going to have this information, I want you to make sure you use this to your advantage. Okay? Shout outs to Latanya, right? I share a lot of her stuff on my Facebook as well. She calls herself the credit queen, my bad, the credit queen. She said, I bought my first flip house with a Discover credit card, guys. This kind of stuff is very, very powerful. And if you're 18, 19, 20, 40, 50, if you never knew how to come up in life, if you never knew how to get your breakthrough, it all lied in getting your credit fixed, using debt, turning debt into cash flow to then fund your life and your dreams, guys. Do not run away from this kind of debt because you didn't have the knowledge. Turn to this because this can help you come out of your situation, right? We're called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, correct? You can borrow in order to become the lender.
Let me pause right there. He said we're called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, right? But you can borrow to become the lender. That was deep. We're called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, but you can borrow to become the lender. W. Kirsten, go on my website. It's all on there, right? Do you hit on student loans? What about them, Fee? What exactly about student loans? You watching from time? And don't ask me anything about Forex. I don't know anything about Forex. Yes, I do watch Credit Plug also from time to time. I really do. I think he's the king of knowledge. One of the people that it really breaks down a lot of information that if you have good credit, how you can get approved for a lot of credit cards. He has a lot of information. I think he's the king of credit cards. I also attended one of his webinars once on credit to cash flow. But again, you have to have a credit score that to position you there, right? Oh yeah, he was talking about me, Gwen. Yeah. Yep. You're called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, but you can borrow in order to not to lend. Student loan debt, in my opinion, is the worst debt anyone can take on because you can't file it in bankruptcy. You can't get rid of it. It follows you to the grave. But one reason, right? One reason is that I'm still working in the public school system as a teacher and a coach for a $50,000 annual contractual income, right? Before taxes. All right, there's not my after tax. Is that because I'm a part of the public service student loan forgiveness, right? Through that. Now, I don't have what I think real high student loan debt, but what I do, because I have a professional tax preparer on my team, and we are a partnership through the home-based business that teach tax strategies to get rich as well. is that my taxes every year allows me to make a payment for that public service student loan forgiveness program at $0, but it counts as a payment to totally eradicate that debt. So that's how I get more advantages through taxes and tax strategies, not to have a monthly student loan payment back, right, on that, and to eradicate that debt through the public school systems and doing what I like to do, which is teach and coach. So that's it. You know, if you're in the public service 501c3 or public school sector and you have a good tax strategies and tax deductions, that's why I always, everything kind of flows back to the core of a home-based business. But other than that, if you don't qualify, then the best way to get rid of them is to build your cash flow, right? And this is, and I'm ending, this is when I refer people or enroll people rather into the home-based business opportunity, because this is how I have access to his expertise. And I want you all to put this in the comments, whether you are watching live or in the replay. They must pay me out today. They must pay me out today. Because I have a daily pay guarantee. So I think, let's see, they must, I must get paid out today. The deposit into my checking account. But just put, whether you're watching live in the replay, that a payment a day keeps recession away, right? A payment a day keeps recession away. So this is my daily pay guarantee. So I had, today's the 31st. So I got that paid out. That balance was up to $1,000 something. Every day of the month, I get paid every day, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, every day, right? And at the end of the month, it cashes out. And then I also get this luxury vehicle bonus of my choice, monthly pay $1,250. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have to use it for a purchase a new vehicle, but it's there. But I don't want a new vehicle at this time. And then I get a presidential bonus of $500 a month. So 10 different ways to get paid. I'm just showing you the 3, right? So if you want more information about the home-based business, then here is the link to that as well. If you are a person that believes in networking, right, a payment a day keeps recession. Oh, that's even better. I like that. I said inflation, but I like that. You said a payment a day keeps recession away. You're right. Because look how long people have to wait for their stimulus. Again, rich and wealthy people brag on how much money they make off of leverage, not their labor. A payment a day, right, keeps recession away. I love that, Gwen. So here is that link to learn more about a payment a day keeping recession away. Again, get started. Use your credit to create more cash flow. You take Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and Discover to get you started. The home-based business program is a network marketing program. It is not the Sushu. It is not a pyramid scheme. It is not an MLM, right? In which you network and you work with a group of people or professionals and experts that take care of every aspect of your financial life. They have 4 pillars, right? They have 4 pillars. One is Money Max, to show you how to get taxed as an entrepreneur and not an employee. Employees, LLCs, corporations, sole proprietors, specialists, doctors, lawyers get taxed the highest. So it moves you from the left side to the right side of the quadrant. So it means instead of bringing home 60 or even 50% of your paycheck from your job, now you can bring home 80, 90% of your paycheck with your job through the Money Max system. Also included in Money Max is they have a bill shredder, bill elimination program, in which they negotiate your utilities monthly bills for a lower cost, sometimes up to 40 to 60%, right? Second part, so that's the paycheck protection program that they have. It's called Money Max. The second part is Credit Max, where on a month-to-month basis, you have experts that are give you a financial education, that's disputing on your behalf on a month-to-month basis, right, to help you continue to improve and educate you about your credit. The third pillar is Equity Max. Once you get more cash flow, once you get other ways to get paid out of your paycheck, Money Max is just one way. So people that's hours are reduced or furloughed, and they still can get from average $200 to $600 more out of their take-home pay, right? That they are paying to the IRS and Fed, called taxes. So it's other ways, information, like when you personally sponsor people to join the business with you, $50 payout bonuses. Once you get so many people, so many in the organization, you leverage out other ways to get paid. They have like vehicle car bonuses, everything that I just showed you. The third pillar is Equity Max, which gives you a rapid debt elimination plan to pay down bad debt, right? And the fourth thing they have is Equity Max, that's purchasing land for wholesale in Antelope, California. And yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it. Just go to the website, enter your name and email, and learn more information from there. Well, hey, I have some work to do. I'm not going out on this Friday night. I'm working, and you all have a great night. And everyone that I'm supposed to respond to with the email, receive an email from me shortly. Here's to your peace and prosperity, your health and your wealth, credit and your cash flow. Queen of Credit out.